Hey guys, I've been riding my Ninja for a little over a couple of months now. I think it's time I give you my top 5 favorite things about my 2017 Ninja 650. Stick around. You know, limiting my praise to just 5 things is going to be a pretty big chore because I really love the Ninja 650. This bike has been awesome and I love riding it more and more every day. But for you, the people that are interested in buying this bike, I think it's important to know some of the top features. So these are my top 5 things. Coming in at number 5, the instrument cluster. That's right guys, I know it's not a sexy one, but it's one of my favorite parts of the bike. The reason I like it so much is because it's so easy to read in daytime or nighttime. It's a huge improvement over the previous generation's instrument panel. It's now got a shift indicator. It has an adjustable shift light. The suite of indicators include miles per gallon, average miles per gallon. It will calculate your range on a tank of fuel. And it's just really well laid out. The tachometer is analog, but it changes colors based on your RPMs. So the closer you get to red line, the needle will turn from pink to red. It's really well done and I find it very useful. The next item on my list is something I feel like all modern motorcycles ought to have as standard equipment. Number 4 on my list is the anti-lock brake system. This is something I feel is critically important today, especially with all the cell phone drivers and textures out there. People just aren't paying attention, and when you got to get on your brakes, this could save your life. Now, the implementation on the 2017 Ninja 650 is nothing special, but it's already saved me one time. I was coming down the street, I had to stop short. I made a split-second decision to try and stop for the light, which was probably a mistake, but it kept me from laying the bike down. And the squeals you hear in this clip are from the car behind me. So everybody had to stop short. I probably could have got rear-ended, but I didn't lay the bike down and everything worked out. I did feel the anti-lock brakes pulse the way they do in a car. And that's the first time I've ever experienced anti-lock brakes on a motorcycle. So I do think they work. I think they're safe. And it's one of my favorite parts of this bike. It helps me ride with a little more confidence when I'm out on the road, especially when I'm in not so good conditions like wet roads or other conditions that make it a little more slippery out there. Okay guys, now we're getting into the meat of the top 5 list. Coming in at number 3 is the engine. Now Kawasaki has really paid attention this year and has made several huge improvements to the engine. What this translates into is faster throttle response, better mid-range, better low end, and just an overall better performing motor. For 2017, it has been retuned for more low to mid-range torque and features open deck die-cast aluminum cylinders for less weight, plated linerless cylinder bores for a more compact engine, fine atomizing injectors for precise fueling, and new engine cases that incorporate a mechanical gear position indicator. Throttle bodies are smaller, 36 millimeters down from 38. Intake ports are slimmer. New camshafts have reduced operating angle and valve overlap, and a revised airbox and exhaust improve acceleration and mid-range power. So what does all that technical mumbo-jumbo mean? Well, for me, one word: fun. This motor produces instant throttle response. It has got great torque. It is throaty. It gets up and goes as soon as I ask it to. It's a rock solid engine, and it is absolutely one of my top 5 favorite things. Being an older rider, the next item on my list is very near and dear to my heart. Coming in at number 2 is comfort. Comfort was a major factor in my decision to buy this bike. The upright but slightly forward seating position provides just the right balance of sportiness and aggressiveness with all-day rider comfort. Guys, I am just a little over 5'11". I weigh about 170 pounds, and for me, this bike is laid out just right. The foot pegs are in just the right position. The handlebars are up a little bit, so there's no pressure on my wrists. The seat is just the right width and narrows just right so my legs can grip the tank really well. The bike is just laid out pretty well. I'll be completely honest with you though, the seat could be another inch higher and it would make it even more comfortable for me to ride. And I may end up getting the extended reach seat, which is about $170 from Kawasaki. But as it stands, it's very comfortable to ride. I spent a good couple hours on the bike yesterday and my back wasn't sore, my arms didn't hurt. And these are the reasons that I love this part of the bike, and I thoroughly believe it deserves the number 2 position on my list. Okay guys, so far we have covered the instrument cluster, the anti-lock brakes, the engine, and rider comfort. All of these kind of pale in comparison to what was the largest influence on me when I was choosing a bike. Coming in at number 1 on my list is styling. Kawasaki has just knocked it out of the park when it comes to styling on the 2017 Ninja 650. Let's be honest guys, nobody buys a bike purely for braking power and engine performance. It's gotta look good too. And in this case, Kawasaki just did it right. This bike has an aggressive stance from head to toe, starting with its pointy and angular front end and some of the coolest headlights I've ever seen. The fairings look good, the gull wing swing arm looks good, the clip-on look to the handlebars looks good, the X-Pattern LED taillight looks good, and hell, even the rear fender looks good once you pull that god-awful fender that all manufacturers seem to put on these bikes off. In my opinion, this is one of the best looking sport bikes on the market right now. It borrows a ton of looks from the ZX-10R, which gives it the look of a super sport, but has all the comforts of a sports tourer. So I say bravo to Kawasaki, and I know they're going to sell a ton of these bikes over the next few years while this design is in play. So there you have it guys, my top 5 favorite things about the 2017 Ninja 650. What I'd like to know from you is, what are your favorite things about this bike? Let me know down below in the comments and we'll discuss. I want to thank you for stopping by and watching this video. If you like the content that I'm creating on this channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It really helps me a ton. If you've got suggestions or ways for me to improve this channel, please leave those down below too, because I go through every single comment that gets put down there, and I will continue to do so as long as it's practical. So until the next video guys, thank you for watching.